Good morning all. What a week. Wet, then dry, then wet again. The poor holidaymakers who've come this far north will be wishing they'd stayed down south. Life's like that too. Busy one day, then feet up and relax the next. One day feeling energetic and creative, and the next knackered and hard to get motivated. One day sunny and cheerful, the next day glum. So, what's to do to keep yourself on an even keel, so to speak? Well, I don't believe for one moment what the doctors say about the sun being bad for you. Grab the rays when you can, especially if, as it's here on the Scotland-England border, you don't exactly get an overdose of it. It feels good to get some sun on your crown chakra and simply absorb the goodness. Okay, let's move on. Energy shifts and changes have been happening very markedly since the new year chimed in, and many are experiencing both mental and physical challenges. Lots of people are finding the change and shift in energy a little overwhelming and the clear outs depressing. Whether these are physical, as in colds and chesty conditions, or emotional pick-me-ups after a breakdown or a relationship split. So I thought I'd answer a depressing question for you. But first, consider this. To laugh is to risk appearing the fool. To weep is to risk appearing sentimental. To reach out for another is to risk involvement. To expose feelings is to risk exposing our true self. To place your ideas, your dreams before the crowd is to risk loss. To love is to risk not being loved in return. To live is to risk dying. To hope is to risk despair. To try at all is to risk failure. But to risk we must, because the greatest hazard in life is to risk nothing. He who risks nothing, does nothing, has nothing, is nothing. At the moment, many people are overwhelmed, unsteady, unsure, unwilling, or unable to change. So first of all, stop, just for a moment. Use your chikara-reiki-do energy to keep yourself level and steady. Just for today, you have a roof over your head, food on the table, and enough money to have a computer and electricity to read this. That's a starting point from which you can build, and build your self-confidence too. The more mistakes you make, the better you can adjust and tailor your life to suit you perfectly. But first remember that all action stems from non-action. So be still for a moment. Breathe for a moment. Then you'll be ready to take the bull by the horns again. But if you find you're still drifting off into sadness and depression, here's a couple of things to try out. Remember, when you're depressed, that's exactly what you're doing. Depressing, suppressing, squashing yourself before others. Out of fear or panic or whatever, you control yourself to the point of death, the ultimate depression. Depression is also the ultimate cop-out, a great way to avoid responsibility. You won't take any action or exercise. The excuses will flow like the Ganges at the very thought of doing something constructive. Movement, change, companionship, and communication. These are the issues you fear and so often avoid. But these issues are also the stuff of life. So be the very best you can be right now. And as my mother used to say, there's no such word as can't, it's won't. Because life is a gift you give to yourself. So if you don't like it, change it, alter it, adapt it, or end it. Here are some positive ideas. I'm sure you've tried some of them, but they do all help. 1. No bread. It's true, it makes your energy slump and makes you feel dull and sluggish too. Increase your heart rate with exercise. Running, skipping, walking more with the dog or without the dog. Just being physically active helps. I can hear the groans from here. Action of any sort is a great depression buster, but it's hard to get off your arse when you feel down. Eat 3 bananas a day for a few days to lift your mood. They contain a chemical that promotes the formation of serotonin in your brain. Help others. Across the road if necessary. It takes your mind off your own troubles if you borrow someone else's for a while. And while you're busy elsewhere, it gives the universe a chance to work in your favour without you interfering. But one of the best things to beat depression is laughter. Try the 10-minute laughing meditation every morning. You'll have to force a squeak out at first, but then you'll feel so silly you'll just have to laugh. It really will set up your day. Never lose your sense of humour. There's always a funny side to things. If you can look back in 6 months and laugh at this time, then you can laugh at it now. Trust me, your tale of the dark night of the soul will be captivating. Sure, it's the way you tell them. Another chikara-reiki-do tip is to wear insoles in your shoes with the Tibetan master symbol drawn on them. This helps you to stride out with confidence. This works really well for any situation where you go somewhere new and unknown too. So, there you are then. Tips and wrinkles for keeping you upbeat when you don't feel like it. Balance at all times. May the sun shine in your life as well as on your face. Chuffing grand. Have a powerful, cheerful, funny chikara-reiki-do weekend.